Lord Tremendous here. Got a battle report here for you. 2,500 point battle report number 15. This is game 3 of the Mini Tremendicon 2016. This is a great game to end it on, too, because it is I, Lord Tremendous of the Ogre Cons, versus Snakes of the Undying Dynasties. Now, some of our veteran viewers will remember that I had the Tremendicon, the Mini Tremendicon, maybe a year or so ago against these same guys, and the guy playing, it was Tomb Kings at the time. He beat my candy ass. It was a really good game, and he did it all with the snakes. And so I was really, really excited to play against him. With this all being said, I know you've noticed a picture in the background, and yes, that is the one, the only Shyhammer on the right there. And the individual on the left is touching him on the face because during a Warhammer Weekly, I asked you guys to touch him, on the face because he just seems to be a big burly teddy bear that needs human contact. And I just want to give a huge thanks to everyone that has done that, including this gentleman right here, whose name I'm not going to use because I don't have his permission. So, if you want to go in the comment section, buddy, and put it in there, by all means. If not, totally understand your privacy needs, and I'm here for you. Tremendous respects privacy. But that's a lie. I don't. But yes, as you can see, Mr. Shyhammer here is enjoying the face touching very, very much. And from now on, when you do that, you be sure to leave a tip for the man. Buy him a drink, slip $1 in his G-string, whatever you want to do. But you know what? If you're gonna touch him, you should pay for the event. I think this is great that you guys are doing that. Keep it up, but make sure it's all in good fun. Please don't, sexually assault this guy too much. And if you want to buy him a drink or contribute to his GoFundMe because he's going to Greece to represent America in the ETC or stuff like that, then please do. Please do. Even if it's only $1, I know he'd be grateful. He seems like a real cool guy. No, I've never met him before, but I have a feeling if I ever do, he's going to punch me right in the face. And I got to be honest, I probably deserve it. So here's hoping, right? Here's my list, and it's exactly the same from the previous two because this was a mini-con, and it'd be a real dick move if I catered my list to my opponents, so I didn't. I have my lord, my great shaman Kaka Shabadu, and you say that name with respect, damn it. He's a level 3 wizard with the Heart Ripper, Demon Heart, the Talisman of Greater Shielding, and the Charm of Cursed Iron. He's also using the Path of Butchery because it is the bestest. Next up, I've got my hero choices, and of course I have my Khan. He's my BSB. He's got a great weapon. He's got Mithril Mail. He's got the Gemstone Amulet. He's got the Skull of Kanghet. I'm going to figure out how to say that word one day, and you guys are going to be all just really impressed. And then, of course, he's got the Rotten Jaw because he never brushes his teeth. Next, I have my Shaman, the Combustor. He's a level 2 wizard with the Skull Splitter, Talisman of Lesser Shielding, and the Path of Fire. And of course, I still have my Mammoth Hunter, Lord Mother Effin' Tremendous. He's got the Iron Fist, the Ogre Crossbow, the Armor of Destiny, Headhunter, and he's on his Tusker. And I am working on a name for him. I haven't found the perfect one for his Tusker yet. I am looking for suggestions. If you have a good one, I will use it, and I will give you credit in the battle report. If you don't have a good one and you share it, well, shame on you. You should do better than that, okay? But if you can think of something to name his bear, by all means. And if not, hey, that's cool too. Alrighty, for my core choices, I still have my 7 tribesmen with Banner and Musician, Iron Fists, and Heavy Armor. I have my unit of 5 tribesmen with Banner, Musician, Iron Fist, Heavy Armor, and the Banner of Discipline. And I have my unit of 4 Bruisers rounding out my core choices. Leading off my special choices, I have a unit of 5 Scrappling Trappers. I have a second unit of 5 Scrappling Trappers. And then I have my unit of 6 Mercenary Veterans with Banner, Musician, Iron Fist. They have Lethal Strike, they have Thunderous Charge, and they have the Banner of Speed, because they're sprinters, what can I tell you? And then, of course, I have my kin eater, Lady Elizabeth. If she charges you, you might as well make your peace with whatever god you believe in. For my rare choices, I have my Scratapult. And then, last but far from least, is my Frost Mammoth, Rufus. And he's got 2 ogre crossbows. Well, his riders have a crossbow each. And, yeah, that makes up my army list. That's going to do it for mine, so I'm going to go ahead and play some music and post my opponent's list. Feel free to pause it at any time to see what he brought. Here are my spells, which are exactly what you're looking at. And here are his spells, which are exactly what you're looking at. It's the circled ones, 2 through 6. I don't believe he got 0, and I don't believe he got 1. Here's deployment, and I'll let you know what I was thinking. I deployed first, and I saw the big gap in between the Triceratops head and the ruins on the left there. And all I could think was he's going to try to put a bunch of stuff down that chute right there. I can trap the ruins on the left side with my trappers, and I'll do that. So I put all my big hitter stuff right in the middle there. The Mercs, the Tribesmen with my BSB, Rufus. I even put my General with his little unit of Tribesmen in there. I've got the Combustor over on the left side. He's going to go into the ruins, and he's going to blast everything he can, try to take care of his archers, and maybe even some of the monsters with Laura Fire best he can. I've got Lord Tremendous over there on the right flank, or kind of on the right flank. He's more right center, but he is over there to just in case anything tries to shoot down my flank and get around into my Scratapult or whatever. I have him and my Bruisers over there to deal with that, and it just so happens he put his Chariots over there. The grappling trappers went behind the Triceratops head just because I didn't know where he was. Well, I knew where he was going to put his stuff, but I figured if he started shooting down too fast, I could throw them in front of something to redirect because I really didn't have a use for them otherwise because there's only really one terrain feature I wanted to trap or I could trap at deployment. And that's it. I mean, it's obvious why I put the Scratapult where I did. Lets me see over all my stuff, and I can aim for his infantry models. And yeah, that was what I was thinking when I deployed. Here's my opponent's right flank. He's got some archers up there on the hill. Ignore the 2 guys that fell. That's just physics. He's got that big unit of, I can't remember, like Necropolis Guard now, and he's got his hero and his general in that unit. And then behind them is his Hierophant and another unit of archers. Ignore the guy on the snake. He's just there for show. Here's my opponent's center. On the left there, he's got a Colossus. Behind them, he's got some sort of War Sphinx, War Kitty type of thing. He's got a unit of 6 Shabti right there. A unit of Skeleton Warriors with Hand Weapon Shield, I think. And then he's got a unit of Archers next to them. And here's my opponent's left flank, which consists of a unit of Chariots. Here's my right flank. From right to left, there's my Bruisers, my Scratapult, Lord Tremendous, my Mammoth Hunter, and in front of him are some Scrappling Trappers. Here's my center. Right to left, I got my Merc Vets, and I got my Tribesmen with my BSB. And then on my left flank, from right to left, I got Rufus the Frost Mammoth. I got my Tribesmen with my General Great Shaman. I got my Combustor Shaman on the left there, and I got a unit of Trappers inside the ruins up front. So here's top one after movement, and I got to go first because I finished deploying. Anyway, I shoot forward. I mean, the Tomb Kings I know are probably going to come after me, but I want to come after them. On the right side there, I left the Bruisers behind because I figured Lord Tremendous could handle the Chariots all by his lonesome. So the Bruisers stayed behind just in case he had something ambushing or whatever. I know he didn't say anything about it. It's old habits die hard. So I left them back there. I probably should have shot him forward. I wasn't thinking. I think they only come up a couple inches. Lord Tremendous moves up 8 inches behind the trappers to fire at the chariots, just in case someone wants to charge the trappers. They can flee and nobody will care. In the middle, everything just shoots forward, with the exception of the Frost Mammoth, Rufus. He just goes forward 6 inches, so he can fire off his Ogre crossbows, maybe do a wound or two to the giant. And then, yeah, everything else just kind of comes over to the left. The Combustor moves up. He actually marched because he wasn't going to be able to get within 24, so he won't be using the Skull... No, he didn't march. I take that back. He will be using the Skull Splitter. The Trappers march out of the ruins because it doesn't matter. His archers always hit on 5s. So they're just moved up because they were going to shoot him and try to take out as many as they could before they took out me. And that was it for movement. During the magic phase, I get, Giant's Gullet or whatever it is, off on his Giant, on his Colossus. I only do 1 wound because I think I only rolled 1 hit, to be perfectly honest with you. But that's cool because now this thing isn't marching. Now it can't charge without. It takes basically 1 less dice to do everything, and it can't march. So not that it was really going to charge, but it was D6 strength 5 hits. I got to put a wound on it. Maybe I should have done it on something else, but I was just excited to have them all, kind of cramped up because now his kitty's got to go around it. It seemed like a good idea at the time. In the shooting phase, my Scrappling Trappers shoot at these guys and are able to kill 2 of them. And then the Combustor shoots and is able to do 2 more wounds to him, killing 2 more, which is awesome. And then my damn Scratapult, it fires at the Necropolis Guard, and not only would it have deviated, but I roll a 6, so I misfire. And I misfire 3, so this damn thing isn't going to shoot this turn, it's not going to shoot next turn. Still Chariot, I can still use it like that, but this thing's been misfiring so often, it's kind of starting to piss me off. So, yeah, we'll see. So with that, we go over here to bottom 1 after movement, and he comes forward. There's no charges, I don't believe, at least none that he made, but his center does come forward. Obviously, the Giant doesn't march, so he just moves out of the way, so the War Kitty can come up, and pretty much everything else just kind of hangs back. Well, that's not true. The guard come down the hill, the Kitty comes up, the Shopti run right in front of my Merkvats. He's like, bring it on, I don't sweat you. His archers on the left there turn to look at the trappers that shot at them, and everything on those right flank more or less stays put. Probably just a stalemate. Nothing happens in Magic, so we go into shooting, and his archers, I get really lucky, only kill 1 of my trappers. I kind of figured he'd do more. Over here, I believe the combined shooting of his chariots and his other unit of archers kill 2 of my trappers, which sucks. Which forces the panic check, and they fail, and they run for their lives. Not too far, but definitely in the way now of any charge that Lord Tremendous was going to make. Not that I think he had one, but what can you do? And then, of course, his big unit of archers in the background there takes shots at my mercenary veterans and is able to pop a base all by themselves. That actually sucks a lot. That was some good shooting. So then we go over here to top of 2 after movement, and I go in. Why not, right? Rufus, my tribesmen, and my BSB's unit, big unit, they all go into the Necropolis guys because I figure the harder I can hit them, the better. My Merkvats go into the Shopti because I want to see what they can do. I mean, he's sending them right in front of me. I got to take it. I'm sure he knows more about him than I do. In fact, I guarantee it. So I figured, screw it. I'll take the bait, see what happens. My other unit of tribesmen with my general move up slightly just to give him that leadership 9 bubble in case this thing goes completely left field on me. My, my trappers march a little bit in order to get around his archers just to get out of the way of everything. Not a huge big deal, really. I'm just going to try to take out that small unit of archers with them best I can. Elizabeth comes on the table and goes up behind that unit of archers where his little caster guy is, because I want to kill that guy and get his army start crumbling as soon as possible. And then I kind of bulk with Tremendous. I don't move him up very much. I guess I was afraid of the chariots charging me, but I really shouldn't have been. It was just stupid on my part. I move him up like 4 or 5 inches towards the chariots to shoot at him again because I'm kind of stupid. My bruisers come down a little bit to back him up, and I'm hoping that he moves up so I can charge him. But I really got to learn to be more aggressive with this guy. And then my trappers that were fleeing last turn continue to flee this turn. That is about it. There's a better picture of my mercenary veterans slamming into the Shop T, and I'm looking forward to that. And there's a better picture of my tribesmen with my BSB and Rufus slamming into this unit of Necropolis Knights or Guard or whatever the hell they are. Now, as you notice, Rufus has 2 wounds on him because he clipped the runes that my trappers were in. So, yeah, he took some DT tests. I'm not certain. I think ruins are dangerous terrain for monsters as well. And I thought I could make it and not take any wounds. I was wrong twice. So Rufus took some damage, and that's completely my fault. Over here, I think I get like a 2d6 fireball off on the skeletons, and I kill all but one. Figures, but still, pretty friggin' awesome. And then just to pick up the points, my Scrappling Trappers were able to kill secure the last guy. And good, at least they won't be getting shot at anymore. Well, at least not by that unit. Lord Tremendous takes pot shot at the chariots and able to slip a wound through on them, which is cool. And then we go into combat. This is the first time that these guys have charged, I think, and made it since I gave them Thunderous Charge. And I was very pleased. They were able to do 9 or 10 wounds, maybe 11 to this unit. In return, I lost 2 more guys. They did 6 back to me. Shabti got much better this game. But yeah, my wounds to hit. Let's see, I charged, had a banner, and did 9 wounds, 9 or 10. I can't remember exactly how many. To his 6, and I think he had a banner. I don't win by much, and he literally rolls like a 3, so they're perfectly fine. And then they reform like this so that his giant or his war kitty can charge into my front there and get in there. Perfectly legal. Didn't do anything wrong. Just. Oh man, I got played like a fiddle on this one. Or a piano, or a trumpet, or a fool, whichever you want to call it. Over here, though, it goes really, really well. I end up in a challenge, my BSB versus General. My BSB survives, but he takes 3 wounds, which is super painful. I end up taking 5 wounds into my unit of tribesmen, losing a base, and 1 guy's just barely holding on. And Rufus takes 2 more wounds, but after all is said and done, he's got about, I don't know, 8, 9, 10, 11 unit, rank and file left with 2 characters. And after crumble checks and everything like that, not crumble checks, but combat res and everything like that, Rufus ends up out of combat. There's no way for me to push him over. There's a kitty in the way. There's nothing I can do. So Rufus is out of combat. So he overruns, and my hope was I slam into that unit of archers. His character can't leave the unit, and I got him, right? There's nothing he's got for backup. There's nothing he can do to stop Rufus. He's going to eat these guys alive. Unfortunately, Rufus didn't roll high. I didn't roll high enough to get Rufus over into them, and he ends up right there. So could have been huge, but instead it was medium small. What can you do? So with that done, we go over here to bottom of 2 after movement, and there's a bunch. His giant slams into my mercenary vets, or I'm sorry, it's Colossus. His war kitty slams into the flank of my tribesmen and my BSB, and that's pretty much spelling the end for them. His character runs out of his unit of archers so that when the Kin Eater, or when Elizabeth and Rufus slam into him, yeah, I'm going to scoop up his archers, but that's really going to be it. And then, of course, his big brick of skeleton warriors turn to get into the fight in the middle because he's going to need to back up soon. His chariots move up, which I think is a mistake because I'm going to slam into him and destroy him. His other little piddly unit of archers, they come up. I think he was trying to bait Tremendous, but I wanted those chariots. I was not going to let them get into my Scratapult, even though it's shooting like it's cross-eyed right now. And that's really about it. There's a better picture of his Colossus joining this fight, and nobody invited him. He's a very rude giant. And there's a better picture of the kitty slamming into the flank of my tribes with my BSB. And I'm really, really not looking forward to that fight now. During his magic phase, he gets a spell off, but it doesn't do anything. I don't remember what it was. It was supposed to like do damage to something, but it doesn't work. It doesn't hurt me. However, it was I think I popped my hell or my demon heart, and so he rolled doubles. So he miscasts and he miscasts 10, but it doesn't matter because he only rolled like 2 dice to do it. It ends his magic phase because another spell he tried to cast with another caster didn't work or something like that. And in the end, it only does it doesn't do anything. He loses some magic dice, and it's a mild inconvenience. But since he only rolled 2 dice, the spell states you lose wizard levels -2 to the power dice that you used, and so 0, which that irritated me a little bit. It seemed like a waste, but what can you do? At least his magic phase ended. And then over here, we go into combat, and this fight is flippin' brutal. I end up finishing off his Shopti, but his Colossus and the Shopti, they end up finishing off all but one of my guys. Believe it or not, I think I win this combat by like 2, but with his BSB within 12 and it being a construct, it doesn't matter. He takes no damage. So here's my little Merc Vet holding his banner going, I'm dead. So, oh, well, at least I got the Shopti. And then couldn't find anywhere in the rulebook where this is illegal. He reformed. He passed his leadership check, and he reformed to face the other direction so that my tribesmen with my general couldn't charge in there and get a flank and all that other good stuff. So really well played by my opponent. Over here in combat, I finish his unit off beautifully, and I kind of get really lucky. His general does kill my BSB, which sucks, but I think he only does like 1 wound to him, and they were in a challenge and everything like that. So what can you do? But I think he only is able to slip 1 wound through on him, and so it doesn't overly help him with combat res, but it doesn't hurt him. I end up losing another 1 base on top of my 1 wound from the BSB. I kill his unit. To be perfectly honest, I think he wins this by like 1 or 2, but it doesn't matter because I'm steadfast and I make it no problem. So that's a positive at least. So we'll go over here to top of 3 after movement because all the fun is said and done in bottom of 2. And yeah, I realize I'm mostly screwed. Elizabeth and Rufus slam into the archers because might as well, scoop up those points while I still can. My trappers move up to try to get in range to throw some stuff at his Hierophant. What's it called? The Combustor moves over 6 inches so I can get line of sight onto his Hierophant and possibly shoot and or fireball that damn thing to death because I really want that to die. And Lord Tremendous and the Bruisers charge into his chariots. Only Lord Tremendous makes it. So that kind of sucks, but it doesn't surprise me. I mean, he's movement 8 with Swift Stride. The Bruisers are, movement 6 with tied together shoelaces. So what are you going to do? Other than that, though, not a whole lot of movement. There's a better picture of Lord Tremendous making the charge and the Bruisers failing. And there's a better picture of Rufus and Elizabeth making it into the archers and just, kill secure type of situation. During the magic phase, I get as many spells off as I can. I get +1 toughness off on the unit of tribesmen, and I get blizzard off on his unit. It's just his BSB and his general left in that unit now because the Necropolis Guard are all dead, and I'm just desperately trying to keep these guys alive long enough so that Elizabeth and Rufus can finish off the archers, turn around, and kill these guys. That's the hope anyway. And then my Scratapult fires at the only open unit of infantry we're shooting at. Direct hit and a 6 for another misfire. And I got to be honest, this is kind of the straw that broke the camel's back with me in the Scratapult. It's misfired a lot over the past handful of games. And yes, it's still a chariot, so yes, it's been useful, but I'm already looking for, dead weight to cut off anyway, as it is, and I'm thinking maybe the Scratapult's going to sit on the shelf for a little bit while I look at some other options in the list, because this is really pissing me off. He ends up misfiring 5, so he takes a wound and sits there firmly planted on his shoulders. Really starting to piss me off. During the shooting phase between my Shaman and the Trappers, I'm able to slip 2 wounds through on the Hierophant. Not enough to kill the damn thing. I was so close he made a save. What can you do? But still, almost dead is pretty good. So we go into combat, and between the two of them, Rufus and Elizabeth are able to literally obliterate the unit. Combat res and everything. There was no doubt at all, none whatsoever. Elizabeth did take a wound for her trouble, and so did Rufus. So Rufus is sitting at 1 wound remaining, so it's not looking good for the big guy. However, he helped me take out the Necropolis Guard. He finished off that unit of archers. Gotta love them both. Both of these, I mean, that tag team was devastating. And just in case he survives long enough to do another charge or something like that, he reforms like this. There's really no reason for Elizabeth to reform because she's going to be able to have line of sight and charge pretty much anything that's in front of her. So we go into combat over here, and even with -1 to hit and +1 toughness, I'm not able to do anything. All of my attacks literally bounce off the characters, bounce off the kitty. I lose 2 more bases worth of guys. I lose this combat by plenty. And they flee. They break, they flee. His character's restrained, and so did the kitty. They did not pursue, so I get away there on the left side there. But yeah, they're just gone, and man, does that suck. Over here, however, Lord Tremendous is able to just demolish those chariots with just charge, impact hits, and all the wounds he did, plus combat res. They weren't able to do anything to him, and they evaporate, which is exactly where they belong. So then I go into combat over here, and I think I put 1 more wound through on the Colossus, and then it beats my poor Merc Vet to death. What can you do? I was just outclassed and outplayed. So we go over here to bottom of 3 after movement, and his Colossus charges my tribesman with my general in it. And I'm pretty sure, not 100%, but I'm pretty sure I have to take a terror check. Even though I'm immune to the effects of fear, I didn't see anywhere where, I mean, because terror causes the terror check. And with the Sons of the Avalanche, I'm immune to the effects of fear. I wouldn't have to take a fear check against the terror causer, but I will have to take a terror check about, being charged by a terror causer. So I roll it, and I roll a 10, and I fail my leadership. So my tribesmen, my general, flee. The Combustor, he redirects into Combustor. The Combustor makes his check, stands and shoots because he needed like a 9 or a 10 to hit me, and he rolls boxcars, so he made it. The War Kitty charged the tribesmen who continued to flee. They fled through the trappers who made their panic check no problem. And then it just kind of fails charge right about where it's at. His little guy is 2 characters stand in front of Rufus, so I can't charge his Hierophant and kill him. And then the Hierophant kind of moves as far away as it can. It couldn't march. It failed its march check, so that was something. The unit of infantry move up slightly, and I think that's actually where the Hierophant might have run into. I'm not 100% on that. And then his little unit of archers move so that they block the way of Tremendous and the Bruisers. So that's it for movement. There's a better picture of my tribesman fleeing and my Combustor about to get his face kicked in. His stand and shoot reaction resulted in no help whatsoever. And there's a better picture of my tribesman fleeing from the War Kitty that tried to run them down. They weren't having it. During the magic phase, he does some spell, I can't remember what, but it heals a wound, I think, off of either his Hierophant or his general, and I think maybe lowers the toughness of Rufus. I cannot remember. And then he proceeds to get a spell off that does some sort of damage to Rufus, and I can't remember how many wounds it does, but he is able to slip the last wound through. And vaporizing poor Rufus. Always breaks my heart when the best model on the table gets vaporized. Really, really sucked. But well played by my opponent. What can you do? Then in combat, yeah, the Colossus just rips the Combustor to pieces. It's not pretty. It's not pretty at all. And then he reforms like this to threaten my tribesman and my general. So with that, we go over here to top of 4 after movement, and my, Lord Tremendous and the Bruisers charge the archers and make it. I charged Lord Tremendous first, he stood and shot and failed to do anything, and then the Bruisers went in and made it happily. Let's see, Elizabeth Elizabeth ran over to the other side of the hill because she didn't want to be charged by the 2 lords because they would have hurt me. I was able to rally my tribesmen and my general. The other unit of tribesmen fled off the table. They did not rally. What can you do? Other than that, my what's it called? Trappers on the left there. They moved up a little bit just to shoot at the characters, just hoping against hope. And my other unit of 3 guys of trappers, they rallied last turn. I forgot to mention it, and now they're coming forward to try to get back into this fight. That's about it. There's a better picture of Lord Tremendous and the Bruisers slamming into this unit of archers, and that's going to go well. And there's a better picture of my tribesmen with my general rallying. Thank the gods. And there are the tribesmen that ran all the way home. During the magic phase, hoping against hope, I get Giant Skullet off on the Colossus one more time. Was really hoping to slip the last few wounds through. I slipped like 2 through. I think it's got 5, at least 5 wounds on it. And it is now, it can't march, and it rolls 1 less die, but he's right on top of me. I think even if he rolled a 1, he'd hit me. But it's something, and I'll take it. In order to get this spell off, though, I just 5-diced it, and I ended up miscasting 6, which isn't the best thing in the world, because now I'm taking strength 7 hits everywhere. But it actually kind of works out, because I end up only taking 2 wounds into the unit. My opponent rolls, because I don't like to roll against my own army, and he rolls very poorly. He rolls an inordinate amount of 1s. So 2 wounds go into the unit, nobody dies, and my magic phase is over. We go into the shooting phase, and my Scratapult finally hit. Wasn't a direct hit, but at least he finally flippin' hit something. Stupid bastard finally did his job. After the smoke settles, though, it's actually a significant hit. I think maybe 12 to 13 of his little models there get pulverized, which, not bad for getting hit by a whole bunch of scrap. It took all game to get 1 hit, but at least he's finally hitting. So we go over here into combat, and stunningly, I was able to obliterate these archers. As you can see, they're all laid out nice and even, because when we massacre a unit, we do it in military order, damn it. And then we overrun, both units overrun, just to get closer to this unit of skeleton warriors, because, hey, I need points. And I believe right now his Hierophant is in that unit, and I would love to kill that guy. So we go over here to bottom of 4 after movement, and there is a bit. His Colossus charges my tribesmen, catches them, and runs them down. I ran literally 3 inches away. Even with only 1d6, he rolled a 6 and caught them and killed them, which sucks. His War Kitty charges my, my trappers, who elect to stand and shoot because what the hell, they pass their terror check. My tribesmen can't, but yeah, my trappers at leadership 6 all day, no problem. His Hierophant runs out of that unit of skeletons and puts himself right in the middle there just because he sees Lord Tremendous and the Bruisers getting ready to come after his skeleton warriors, and it's probably a smarter idea. So then his skeleton warriors go after and get within an inch of Lord Tremendous, just forcing the charge there. And other than that, that's everything for movement. There's a better picture of my trappers about to be obliterated by the War Kitty. Their stand and shoot reaction did not result in anything, in case you were wondering. During the magic phase, I think he gets the spell off that lowers my toughness by 1, which honestly I didn't care about. He's also able to heal the wounds off his Hierophant and 1 off of his general, and just, I don't remember exactly what the spells were, but I didn't get pictures of them because, honestly, I was mad at myself for failing those leadership checks. I was laughing pretty hard, but it still kind of was like, oh, well, what can you do? So we go into combat over here, and the War Kitty, strangely enough, has no problem putting the trappers deep, deep into the ground. I don't even think there was enough left to raise up as zombies. So, yeah, I was as stunned as you are. So we go over here to top of 5 after movement, and I don't really have a whole lot of moves left, so Lord Tremendous and the Bruisers go into the Skeleton Warriors because I need points, and then I take a Hail Mary charge with Elizabeth into his Hierophant, and I make it. I literally roll boxcars. I need an 11, and I rolled a 12. Lady Elizabeth, always producing for me. She's as reliable as Lord Tremendous. Very pleased with her. And the fact that I got a hold of that bastard is super important. That was a goal. That was a life goal right there. Other than that, my mostly useless Scratapult is just standing there on the hill, wondering, wherever all of his friends went. And yeah, that's all I've got for movement. There's a better picture of Tremendous and the Bruiser slamming into the Skeleton Warriors, and we know how this fight's going to go. And there's a better picture of Elizabeth just pulling my ass out of the fire again. She gets a hold of the Hierophant on a long distance, almost impossible charge. And of course, true to form, she obliterates this bastard. Just all 4 hits, all 4 wounds, no need for a stomp. But you know what? In my heart, she does it anyway. And just kills this guy. And good. I'm glad he's dead. So we go into combat here, and as you can see, after combat res and everything like that, there's 9 guys left. And I'm looking forward to obliterating all of them. And then, of course, at the end of the phase, we do crumble checks, and the only model to suffer any kind of crumble is the one guy that's dropped right here. His constructs are fine, and his characters are, of course, fine. I mean, we've really beat the crap out of each other, so there's not much to crumble. Turns are going fast now because there's almost nothing left. We go over here to bottom of 5 after moving. The giant comes up into the ruins, but he's not marching, so it doesn't matter. His kitty charges Alyssa to death because her overrun was only like 2 or 3 inches, and I'm not complaining at all. What she did was absolutely phenomenal. The crumble checks, he loses 2 more skeletons, and that's literally it. And I think his characters are still up behind the kitty somewhere because what else are they going to do? Poor Elizabeth. Here's a better picture of her getting charged by the War Kitty, and that's not going to go well. Like I said, the crumble checks are done, and I think 2 or 3 of the guys here eat dirt and become dirt, so that's awesome. And with no magic and no shooting, we go straight into combat, and lo and behold, Lord Tremendous and the Bruisers are able to obliterate the remaining 4 Skeleton Warriors. I was surprised too. And then over here, this sucks, but yes, the War Kitty turns out to be superior to Elizabeth. She does do a wound or 2 to the kitty. She does. Unfortunately, the War Kitty is able to do all the wounds to Elizabeth. And you know what? She did fine. She helped take out that unit of archers. She finished off the Hierophant, and she distracted the War Kitty. I would have preferred it if she lived, but for 90 points, she more than made up for it, and I'm still very proud and very happy with her. So we go over here to top of 6 after movement, and I think Lord Tremendous and the Bruisers try to charge War Kitty and fail their charge, and that's it. There's a better picture of me failing a charge against War Kitty, and you know, it was a long-ass charge. I think the Bruisers literally needed a 12, and I think Tremendous needed like an 11 or a 10, and not surprised that they both failed. Not upset about it at all. And then there it is. We go into the bottom of 6, and my opponent's like, you know what, I'm not going to charge you. I've got no magic, no shooting. Game's over, man. And we shook hands. He spit in my face, and here's the end of the game. I've got my Scratapult, mostly trying to figure out how its cannon works. I've got my Bruisers who are untouched, and I've got Lord Tremendous that's untouched. Everything else of mine is murdered. Oh, I'm sorry, that's not true. I got a little unit of Trappers right behind the Triceratops head. That's it. Everything else in my army has been murdered as killed. He ended up with his Colossus, his War Kitty, his BSB, and his General left. So he lost a lot of stuff too. This was a brutal slugfest, but in the end, I think I took it a little worse. But you know what? I'm going to take a break. We're going to get to the recap and everything else. And you know what? Captain Picard, tell him.
Make it so.
So, as you could see, it was a defeat for Lord Tremendous. I got 1,833 out of him. He got 2,285 out of me for a difference of 452. I ended up losing Kaka, my Khan, my Combustor, all the tribesmen, a unit of trappers, my Merc Vets, Elizabeth, and Rufus. Holy crap, I got my jaw broken this one, but what an amazing, amazing game. I mean, a lot of things went wrong for me in this game. I way underestimated the Shopti, and my opponent tried to tell me all about him. He did. He explained everything about his army because he knew that I used to play the Undead Dynasties guys back in 8, so yeah, that was my fault. The Colossus and the War Kitty were just spectacular, making me fail terror checks everywhere. Oh my god, did that hurt. All my tribesmen, well, my tribesmen, the big group with the BSP, they got beat up and ran off the table, and they held their own as long as they could. But my other unit of tribesmen with my general, they failed 2 terror checks and then got ran down. And that was with him rolling only 1 die, so golly, that sucked. Also, I don't know, I think it was maybe a misuse of Lord Tremendous. I'm not 100% on that. I guess now knowing what I know, my bruisers could have taken his chariots, maybe, probably. But I should have got Tremendous into one of those constructs as quick as I could. That was my fault. I thought I was playing smart. Turned out I was playing into my opponent's hands. So what can you do? But yeah, I learned a ton in this game, and it was really cool to play against the Undead Dynasties. One of the things I really enjoyed about this particular fight was it felt like both of our armies were very even, just in raw strength. We both had all the abilities that the other guys had. It was great to see the Undead Dynasties across the table from me. It was very nostalgic. I was disappointed that he didn't bring any snakes, though, because last time that these guys came out here, he beat my ass with Tomb Kings, and it was awesome. My one claim to fame in this game was that Elizabeth made a maximum distance charge in order to get his Hierophant and kill it, and that little moment will live forever in my heart, or colon, one of the two. But this was a very outstanding game. This was a super outstanding opponent, and seriously, man, thanks for coming back out. Really love playing against you guys, and next time, please come out again as soon as you can. Really enjoy our game. And next time, bring your damn snakes! Beat me like a man. Come on. But I am very, very much looking forward to the next chance I get to play any of these guys. Really, really awesome day. But yeah, guys, seriously, thanks. Alrighty, guys, that's going to do it for this one. Battle Report number 15 is officially in the books, and Mini Tremendacon 2016 is final. I went 2-1. That's not terrible. I think a lot of it had to do with blind stupid luck on my part and inexperience on theirs. I think given another, few months, maybe, tops, if they came back out, I'm pretty sure I'd go 0-3. So I hope they come back out in a couple of months and I go 0-3. That would be absolutely outstanding. But yeah, guys, you've seen the game. You know how much I love it. You should love it too. Go to the Ninth Age website. Get the rules. Get the army book. It's all free. You can't lose here, guys, and you're going to love it. Check my description for important links. It'll get you cool ideas, cool deals, cool places to go. Check out. All of it's on the legit. Don't worry. None of it's, viruses or anything like that. And you'll thank me for it later. But I'm going to wrap it up here. As always, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, or complaints, feel free to put them in the comment section below, and I will get back to you as quick as I can. But yeah, guys, thanks.